Hi everyone, I'm Ju. Welcome back to my channel. So before we start the video today, I would like to ask you, do you ever miss a place not because you would like to live there again, but because how it shapes you to who you are today? That's how I feel about Germany. So today I would like to share with you 6 things that I miss the most about Germany. The little invisible pieces that shapes me who I am today. So I want you to ask yourself, what place made you who you are today? I'm very interested to know about it and feel free to share with me in the comment. The first thing that I miss about Germany is the silence. Do you remember when is the last time that you heard nothing? No traffic, no people, no background noises, just silence. I didn't experience this feeling until I moved to Germany. If I would like to describe it, it's like, like when you are in the Asian country or in Malaysia, you are out of electrical supply. The fan is not working, the aircon is not working. It's like the world turned into silence. That's how I feel about Germany in the first few weeks. And at the beginning, I feel a bit unsecured because it is very unusual, like to live in this silence, like we have this kind of sound everywhere in Malaysia, like when you go to a local kopitiam, there's always like kopi O kosong satu, but of course in a louder frequency. But as time goes, I started to enjoy this kind of silence in Germany. I think it's kind of like magic, isn't it? It provides you a space for you to think and calm you down. It is kind of like healing power. I think that's also how meditation works. So there's really this kind of magic to put you in a peace. But the funny thing is that when I return back to Malaysia, I really cannot stand how noisy is it. So let's have a quick vote here. If you enjoy silence, please comment 1. If you think silence drives you like crazy, please comment 2. I'm very interested to know what the result turns out in the comment. And coming to the next thing that I miss about Germany is the power of questioning. The Germans just aren't afraid to ask questions. No matter you are the authority, the teachers, or even your superiors. I remember that back then in my uni time in Germany, like one of the students just stand up and confidently asking the questions or kind of like challenge the teacher in a very polite way to question about a certain topic. And I think that's the biggest difference between the Asia students and the European students. Because in Asia, we are used to taught to obey, but in Germany, due to their history reason, I think they are kind of like being taught to have this critical thinking, to always questions the facts, to know the root reason or problem behind it. And that's why in a class, the European students will always ask questions, whereas the Asian students are most likely be quiet. So that's the thing I miss about Germany because we are free to ask questions or like politely challenge the superior or the authorities. So it makes you more thoughtful, brave, and free. In your culture, is it common to ask questions? So, when was the last time that you challenged someone or something that you didn't agree with? I would be very interested to know what's your opinion in the comment. The next thing that I miss about Germany is the solitude and the independence. So, let me ask you, when was the last time you really enjoy your own company? Just alone, but not lonely. Like in Germany, it's very common that you do everything by your own. So you go for groceries alone, you need to fixing things alone, you need to handle with the authorities. And I started to get used to this kind of own company. Even though I'm having dinner alone, I really enjoy the time that being with myself. Like your soul is sitting beside you, and then you have this space to think, to enjoy the food. But the funny thing is that back to Malaysia, I still kind of like practice this kind of thing. And I remember that there's one time I just go for breakfast alone at a certain local coffee shop. And every time I observe, there's literally no one there sitting alone. Maybe like once or twice, but most likely all of them are maybe with their partner or most likely with their families. And sometimes they look at me with a very awkward expression. But you know what? I just really enjoy that, like, I can just go for breakfast, just me and my own. It's kind of like healing in a way that you spend time with your own and also with the food. So, if you would like to spend a day completely by your own, would you love it or would you hate it? And the fourth thing that I miss about Germany is the freedom to be yourself. Germany is one of the place where, like nobody cares like what you looks or what you do. Either you are married, you are single, you wear awkwardly. It is not like in Malaysia, there's many uncles and aunties will ask you about.
Oh, why don't you become a lawyer? When will you plan to get married?
And next, they will ask you.
When would you like to plan to have kids?
So, if you live in a place that nobody cares about your appearance, how would you dress, speak, or even live differently? Coming to the fifth thing that I miss about Germany is the public transport. In my previous video, many people comment about the public transport in Germany. So, it's like a love-hate relationship, I would say. It is most of the time clean, but for the efficiency and punctuality, it really needs to be improved. But when I compare it in Malaysia, there's bus and train in Malaysia, but in reality, it is not really convenient if you take the public transport. And the main problem in Malaysia would be the traffic jam. So that's a really hard choice to choose between the impunctuality of the train in Germany or stuck in the traffic jam for few hours in Malaysia. And the main reason that I miss about public transport in Germany is that this really improves the elderly life a lot. Because in Malaysia, the elderly didn't have the opportunity to take the public transport to travel because it is very inconvenient for them. So they would rather drive themselves even though maybe they are already like 70s. Actually, it is very dangerous. Feel free to share me your thoughts that what is the public transport condition in your country? And would you prefer to stuck in the traffic or would you take the train? And here comes the last thing that I miss about Germany is the nature. Yeah, I know that in Malaysia there's also a lot of nature, but due to the very, very hot weather, we seldom hang out in the nature because of the humidity that it would cause a lot of sweat. So you need to choose the right timing, right weather to go out to nature. And the beauty of Germany is that even though you are in cities, you are never far from a park, a forest, or a lake. Everything is like coexisting. So nature is also one part of the cities. And the air in Germany is really, really fresh because of the weather, because of the humidity. Compared to Malaysia, it is really refreshing. So in Germany, we have this word Spaziergang, that it is very common for the Germans to take a walk nearby your place or to the nature. So in Germany, fresh air is very important. So you need to luften. Do you often have this nature connection in your country? Feel free to share with me in the comment. Sometimes I think maybe what I miss the most is not about the place, Germany, but it is me during that period. The version of me being brave enough to start over in a foreign country. So tell me, what's the one thing that you still miss today? If you are in Germany, what is the one thing that you miss the most? I hope this video give you interesting insight and feel free to share with me if you have any interested topic would like me to share. So, see you in the next video. Bye!